Right, so quick disclaimer before we start this video. In the background, you'll be able to see a smoke cloud. This was filmed on the day of a big wildfire that occurred in the Peak District. Luckily, no one was harmed, but at the time of recording this, I didn't know what was happening. I just thought it might be some emissions from a nearby factory, perhaps. Anyhow, aesthetically, I thought it looked cool, so I included it in the background of the shot. However, my intentions were not to make light of the real disaster that occurred. Anyway, on with the video. Oh, thank God. Sorry, I'd put my mic down and I thought I'd crushed a little ladybug, but it's okay, it wasn't moving.
Nah, we cousins.
I was up here on a hill with my recording equipment and I thought I'd give a little impromptu review of Sinners. I don't have that much to say about it, but maybe it'll be interesting to you. I'd need to do something. I literally found a cobblestone chair as well in the wild, in the wilderness. What are the chances? It's like I was destined to make this video. So, Sinners. Okay, Ryan Coogler, what a terrible man. No, I'm joking.
Now we cousins.
So Sinners is a film following Michael B. Jordan. He plays a set of twins who are kind of sort of like Al Capone-esque hustlers in the 1930s. And they go about this little town, this little village, and they're trying to make a Duke house. I'm not sure what the actual word is, but they basically want to make like a club where there's a band on, they play blues music, and it's not really a black only club, but it's a club that black people can go to because they've been ostracized from society in the 30s. It's not black only because white people do come, minorities come as well, Asian people. It's a little bit of this like Save the Rec Centre sort of, but it's more so like about build up the rec centre really. And it's the first hour is basically a showcase of this community coming together. And the reason this stands out is because it really does take its time to set up all of these characters, and it's really just about building this community essentially. And it's all taking place in a movie that was marketed to general audiences as a horror film, like a scary movie that you could go see at the weekend. A lot of action in it, a lot of gore. And really the first hour is just a lot of talking, a lot of dialogue scenes. I respect Ryan Coogler's commitment. I respect him doing that. I respect that it takes its time. I respect that it just sets up these characters. And then much like in From Dusk Till Dawn, which this film is clearly inspired by, halfway through the film we have this jarring switch up where it goes from kind of a traditional period piece drama to a full-on vampire gore fest kind of. And again, just that description, heavily inspired by From Dusk Till Dawn, but it acknowledges that there's literally a shot which is like mirroring the same shot used in From Dusk Till Dawn of like the exterior of the place, like the main place where all of most of the film's events take place. Substitute the barn from Dusk Till Dawn with the Duke house in Sinners. However, when the horror elements are introduced and when that starts, the film still takes its time with things, and it still kind of indulges itself by lamenting in this sort of celebration of black culture, particularly the blues, black people's relationship with music in general. And there are just shots that are completely dedicated to that really, and they're quite beautiful. And that feels like it's coming from an artistic director, someone with a vision, something personal. It doesn't feel like a weird corporate blockbuster, which is what I've come to expect from Ryan Coogler, if I'm being honest, but all I've seen from him is Black Panther. So I had really good individual artistic moments that were just these tracking shots of all of these people enjoying themselves to this music, and then it would do really cool things like intermix imagery, like modern imagery. It would have like modern electric guitarists show up in this kind of strange pseudo vision thing that happens. There's this narration that says that this music is this spiritual, timeless thing. It brings all things together, both people living and dead from like past and future, and it's really cool. Every time the film does something like that, the cinematic language kind of changes to this more auteur sort of voice, and I like that, but it is a little bit few and far between because there is the rest of the film. I wouldn't say that was the overall vibe I got from the vast majority of the scenes in the film, but there are these individual moments, these individual choices that are worthy of celebration, but it's a little bit in like a cherry picking manner, I have to say. It's more so, oh, that I liked, but the film overall, well, I'll get to that.
Nah, we cousins.
Are you sure?
Jack O'Connell is really good. He plays the antagonist. It's no coincidence that the first set of vampires that come to attack the black community are white. That's part of the commentary. But unfortunately, I do have to say that his performance was the most compelling of the whole film. It kind of makes things seem a bit dodgy. Someone's coming. But he did just give the best performance in the film, hands down. I really liked how his role in this wasn't a conventional villain vampire role. He kept going on these monologues about music again. It just veers so heavily into those themes that I do appreciate that. So that makes it an interesting film because it continuously kind of subverts the genre in ways that are kind of refreshing. It's not subversive in an arbitrary way because what it gives you instead of these like conventional horror motifs you might expect are more interesting to watch. In fact, if this film didn't have that music subtext to it, it would be completely generic in my eyes. I'd say the score of this film is its strongest asset. It's amazing, it's incredible. Yeah, just go watch it for the score. I think I've already said that on my Instagram. But yeah, it's like this weird mix of gothic, traditional horror and sort of normal Western blues. It's very strange, but it's awesome. It's just incredible. And it's a juxtaposition with like what you're seeing because it's a period piece, but it's awesome. It works. It's bold, but it works. There's a lot of artistic choices in this that are like that, bold, but they work. And if I'm being honest, I wasn't expecting anything bold like that from a director like Ryan Coogler. So I was happy to see a film with so much flair in certain areas. But yeah, the subtext is not lost on me and the commentary isn't lost on me. There's all sorts of like different avenues you could go down in terms of analysing this film, and it's interesting for that. It kind of does put the subtext to the forefront though, like I just said, it heavily leans into it, but it also, by doing that, explains all of its sub-themes, which maybe a more skilled director would kind of put in the background a bit, make it like something you have to deduce yourself, like figure out yourself. Just imagine if a film like Nope was a lot more explicit about what it was about and kind of jerking itself off a little bit, like, yeah, this is really about this, subtext exists, like, yeah, we know, but we don't have to fucking make a song and dance about it, so to speak. But subtlety is key. Yeah, it wears its subtext on its sleeve, and fair enough, and a lot of people on Twitter are loving it because of that, because Twitter kind of get off on decoding the hidden social commentary in films, and that's all like a film is to them. That's the only way they see worth in film, seemingly, and I don't know, I don't agree with that. And that brings me to my next kind of final point, which is why I'm kind of a little bit mixed on this film. Although this film does have all of those positive aspects that I just mentioned going for it, in other areas that are just as important in my eyes, it kind of lets itself down, namely the characterization and the dialogue. The dialogue and the acting, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's very generic, a little bit washed out. I didn't get anything from these characters. And because a lot of the film is about this community, and the fact that you don't care about this community, it's a bit difficult. Michael B. Jordan plays twins who are more or less completely indistinguishable from each other, not just on a visual level.
Nah, we cousins.
Personality-wise, there's nothing really to either of them. They're both kind of the same. Maybe there's some dialogue that says, oh, this one's a bit more softer than this one, but it's all kind of, it doesn't hit. The only way you tell them apart is they've both got different girlfriends. So if you see a scene where they're dancing with the Haley Steinfeld's character, you know it's that particular character. Also, they give them different coloured hats. That's another way to do it, which is fine. I don't mind you doing that, but you also have to put some effort into making them distinct from each other. Like, why make them twins in the first place unless it's just a gimmick?
Now we're cousins.
Yeah, the first hour of this film was quite a slog for me because even though I did appreciate that it was being this like character drama piece that was taking its time, the thing that it was taking its time establishing wasn't any good. The problem wasn't that it was slow, it was just what they were showing wasn't very captivating. And even though I said that the first half of the film doesn't have any horror elements because that's kind of the point, it's like initially a drama, then it transitions into a horror, there are a few things that are left in there that I think the director put in there because he wanted to make sure that people didn't like, oh, I haven't come to the wrong film, have I? Like, this is a horror film. So there are these just weird, out of place, shitty, sorry, someone's got a drone. These weird, out of place, shitty jump scares that are just, I don't know, like going off that, I was like, oh, it's going to be this kind of horror film, is it? Shit. Those directorial decisions I did not appreciate at all. But admittedly, they are quite few and far between, but they shouldn't be there. But there's not a fundamental flaw. The fundamental flaw lies in the fact that these characters... Shut the fuck up. One sec, there's a drone. There's a drone just flew over. God, ain't that something? It's coming back because it wants to have a look at me, I think. It's all about me. They're after me. Someone's looking for me. Oh, the sunset's amazing. I need to get on with this. I said before that I did like Jack O'Connell's character. On a performance level, yeah, I did. I found him kind of engaging, but really, he didn't have that much to him. He was more of an idea than a person, which fair enough. That's kind of the case with most of the characters in this. They're more ideas of like black culture, kind of archetypes, sort of empty archetypes, but I didn't really care for, but still, like, fair enough. I just think a better director, there's better black directors than Ryan Coogler too, who could have done something like this. Like Jordan Peele. We're spoiled for choice when it comes to like horror films that double as black social commentary. It's weird that subgenre we're actually spoiled for choice in. But yeah, Nope is incredible. Nope is really good. I love Nope. Just so you know, I'm not racist. Too much of that Coogler, Black Panther, watered down showcase of areas of black culture. Like I said again, all of the music scenes and that one shot in particular was really good. But again, it's like that thing when we're just splitting hairs of, oh, I really like that, but like it shouldn't be like that. There shouldn't be these like individual good moments in films that we glaze and just like ignore all of the rest of the movie because this is not how it's supposed to be. I've seen that a lot. There's a lot of cherry picking online where it's like, oh, this shot is amazing. It's amazing. If you go on Twitter, it's all just this shot. Oh, it's got so much sauce. Like, fucking hell, don't be so, I don't know, surface level and singular about things. It's like, this shot is amazing. It's all I fucking hear about Severance. I was like, okay, it's got amazing cinematography, Severance, so I'll go and watch it and see what else it's got. Oh, nothing else. Do not trust Twitter. They are easy to impress, and I don't say that from any point of snobbery. I'm not a film student or anything, it's just the truth. They're just stupid. They're just really stupid.
Now we cousins.
Let's just say if there was a remake of Roots, I wouldn't want Ryan Coogler in charge of that. Jordan Peele's a bit too weird for it, but I don't know, maybe Steve McQueen, no, that's the perfect one. Still largely positive, just mixed on the film because good moments, dull moments, sort of watered down. It's a bit like Joker where, yeah, some good things, good elements, good Joaquin Phoenix performance, but overall the experience is kind of like, I don't want to watch this again. I'll listen to the music. Yeah, I'm being cherry picking though, that's the irony. I'll just take the bits I like and, yeah, not fucking... But no, I'm trying to fucking analyse it on the round. Overall. There are more people coming. Finally, in the end, it does have its horror climax where it all becomes bloody and horrible. A lot of the characters die, but you don't care about them. And this film heavily utilises the vampire lore that you need to invite them in, otherwise they literally can't enter. So there's a lot of scenes, like a lot of tense scenes that are kind of revolve around that, which is cool. So all the characters needed to do was not invite them in, not verbally invite them in, and we kind of have this moment where one of the characters like stupidly does it at the end because she gets angry and pissed off, and it's one of those character moments that a lot of morons would be like, oh well, it's a vulnerable character moment. She was angry, she was emotional, she was hostile. But in the film, taking itself this seriously, like trying to be smart, trying to be clever, trying to be something different, it shouldn't have done something as stupid as that. And yeah, as soon as the vampires come in, it kind of just becomes schlock, really. Like when it does start to lean into traditional horror elements, it's just, this is fucking bollocks. There are also just weird contrivances with characters being in one position then teleporting somewhere else based on how convenient it is. Like, oh yeah, I just got behind him just in the nick of time so I could help you. It's like that's ridiculous. The vampires all of a sudden become a lot less threatening or bloodthirsty or just dangerous in general. This is an army of vampires. You couldn't have just easily killed them all like that. That's just ridiculous. I better boo-boo before these bikers come and kill me and attack me and mog me. Anyway, what do you say about Sinners? That was a great film. Typical lad Bible behaviour. Literally encircling me. But yeah, Sinners, good film, bad film, mixed film, I'd say. Mixed film. I am kind of veering towards positive, but yeah, who cares? My words are the rating, not a arbitrary number. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't expect stuff like this to happen often because I have to climb up a hill to do it, and also this is ridiculously good British weather. This is a rare thing. Well, it's not really because of global warming, but yeah, this isn't going to be a common thing, so shut up. Sinners sucks. Sinners sucks. Or maybe it's a subjective thing because a lot of people seem to have resonated with the characters, even though I didn't. Maybe it's just a weird subjective thing, and maybe the character writing's fine. But no, I do feel that there's just something, I don't know, just something a bit stale about it, a bit formulaic about the character dialogue writing. But I am conscious of the fact that it is a common criticism I give out to popular films where I was like, I just didn't connect with the characters. Maybe it's like a thing on me where I'm just depressed and can't emote to people and I've got no empathy. Maybe I'm horribly racist. I really don't know. But because it is Ryan Coogler, I'm just a bit, I don't know, there could be a possibility. I think we need to accept the possibility that maybe it's just a bit bland. I don't know. Give me your thoughts. Just because a film has a lot of individually good moments and good ideas and themes doesn't mean overall it's a great movie. And I'm miserable. I don't want anyone enjoying anything. Shut up.
And remember to fucking subscribe.
Thanks to the patrons. Thank you DF. Thank you Mason Lydon. Thank you Matt Delaney. Thank you Casey Gann. Yeah. Peace out.
Now we could.
You having a wank? You having a wank? You having a wank?
Throat.
You having a wank? You having a wank?
You disgusting fat
You
fuck.
having a wank? You
Right
having a
by
wank?
the throat.
You having a wank?
You
having a wank?
disgusting fat fuck.
You having a wank? You having a